What's up, guys? I'm Tasteless, with me is Artosis, and this is the GSL Code S. We're here in the round of 8 now, and this has been a pretty sick tournament so far.
It certainly has, Tasteless. This round of 8, so sick. Take a look at it. We have Classic versus Paralyze and Maru versus Sulky today. Absolutely mad matchups here. And then, of course, on Friday, Sue against Solar and Shrew against Zest. Very good matches as well. But the match of this round, without any doubt in the whole entire world, is Maru versus Sulky. Champion versus champion. Two of the very best ever in the world.
Maru's been doing great against Protoss so far, since Protoss has really been dominating in the last 2 seasons. But now he's up against Sulky, and you really couldn't ask for a better Zerg opponent.
Yeah, Sulky's probably the best Zerg in the world, and Maru's probably the best Terran, which gives us a damn good best of 5 today, Tasteless.
No kidding. Also, Terrans still this entire year in GSL Code S have been having a very hard time. Maru is the last hope here for Terran. So, you know, I know a lot of guys that are watching really hoping Maru can get through. It would be great if he got all the way to the finals and even won this whole thing. A real testament to how much he's truly mastered that race. But for me personally, I think Sulky's going to take this.
I think Sulky as well, but yeah. you know, with that new Hellbat change, we could see Maru maybe bust out some cool Hellbat moves. We'll talk more about that as we get to it. Because first we do have a PvP between two teammates.
And, you know, whenever you have 2 teammates playing against each other, as we've said before, there's a whole metagame going on, a micro metagame, that you never can fully appreciate. Because you got, what, like a dozen guys, 20 guys all playing together in a team house, all sharing the same secrets about their race, about the way they view how this RTS game, StarCraft II, works. And then when you pit them against each other, there's a lot of mind games that you see, a lot of weird cheeses you see that you would never normally expect at a round of 8 with 2 top players.
Well, you know, SKT1 Protoss is very good. These two, not the best 2, but definitely making it the furthest this season. Between Paralyze and Classic, what do you think? Who takes it?
I'm thinking maybe Paralyze 3-2.
It definitely won't be a 3-0. I would bet my legs that it's not going to be a 3-0. It's gonna be a 3-1 or 3-2 definitely. I think I'm leaning a little bit towards Paralyze, but we'll see.
Also, guys, subscribe to our new channel. Which you can see right down there, and check the event banner below. We got a lot of great new stuff, as always, coming out of GOMEXP. Great ways for you guys to interact with us. You know, we've been around doing the GSL for 3.5 years.
It's been a long time, yeah, since like September of 2010. So that's quite a while.
So this is another great way for you guys to reach out to us, and we know we love hearing from you guys, and we always love making new content for you guys. We are going to be going to the interviews now and seeing what our 2 players are thinking before this match, where they expect to be after this best of 3, and hopefully some trash talk.
모두의 예상에 뒤엎고 이렇게 8강에 진출한 2명의 주인공 김도우, 정경두 선수 만나보겠습니다.
So we've got 2 unexpected players that we didn't expect to have here in the round of 8 against each other here now.
8강을 밟게 됐습니다. 소감이 궁금한데요. 먼저 김도우 선수 어떠세요?
So this is your first round of 8. What are your thoughts?
일단 8강에 가서 너무 좋았는데 또 팀킬을 하게 돼서
Yeah, I was really happy to advance to the round of 8, but it's another team kill.
저번에 팀킬을 이겨서 그런지 자신감이 있고
Last time I won against my teammate, and you know what, I have full confidence this time too. How about you, Paralyze? So I know this is my very first round of 8 in the GSL, and it's gone pretty well so far, as I've expected. Even though it's a team kill, I'm going to do my best to take him out and advance to the next round. How do you feel about your opponent? When I look at Classic, he plays really well, and his performance has really proven a lot. But I think, as my opponent, Classic is better than Sue.
선수라던가 뭐 정윤종 선수보다는 낫다 이렇게 말씀을 해주셨거든요.
So Classic, when you have when an interview, you said that Paralyze is better to face off against.
일단 윤종이만 아니면 된다고 생각했거든요. 네. 역시 윤종이 아니면 저그다 이렇게.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought, yeah, at least it's not rain. It'll be fine.
떡인가 싶어. 갑자기 경도가 올라오는 거예요.
네.
이번 시즌 좀 하늘이 돕는구나 했고.
I watched his games.
갈 수 있을 것 같아요.
그럼 오늘
And I actually thought Rain was going to be advancing. And I thought I had a high chance to beat him, but somehow Paralyze ended up getting through.
사실 지난 1년 전쯤에 코드
So I'm really happy to face him tonight.
2대 0으로 승리를 한 바가 있거든요. 자, 그때 아니신가요? 네, 제가 기록을 잘못 찾았나 봅니다. 죄송합니다. 자,
So you're able to 1 year ago in the preliminaries.
하셨는데, 멋진 비유가 아니면 속상할 것 같아요. 어떠세요? 자신 있으세요?
도영이 떡 먹다가
Are you confident enough now?
차리실 것 같아요. 떡도 잘못 먹으면
Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty easy peasy about. I think my opponent's gonna be pretty easy peasy. I'm gonna show him how strong I am here today.
기대가 되는데요. 김도우 선수 사실 지난 경기에서 상대에 대한 생각을 많이 했다, 주로 분석을 많이 했다 말씀을 하셨는데.
So classic, you've analyzed your opponent a lot.
네, 일단
Tell us about that.
분석할 게 많이 없는 것 같아서
네.
그냥 제 할.
Even when I was trying to analyze the pattern that he was playing, there really wasn't much to analyze about him actually.
조금은 자신감이 없어 보였는데 오늘은 정말 자신감이 넘쳐 보입니다. 준비는 어떻게 하셨나요?
따로 연습할 시간이 많이.
Paralyze, you didn't seem very confident last time.
연습은 많이 못 했는데.
But you look more confident this time around.
평소에 도영이랑 게임 많이 하거든요. 그냥 거기서 이제.
Well, generally at our team house we played against each other a lot.
크게 준비할 필요는 없었던 것 같아요.
So we know each other's play styles really well. It's a little bit difficult to prepare for a match like this, but it's fine. So I want to know your predictions for tonight. Yeah, my predictions are 3-0. And my goal is to just move to the next round. And Classic, your thoughts? Tonight my goal is to make a 3-0 in under an hour. Oh, damn!
I'd be extremely surprised if there was 3-0.
Assault. Thanks, Artosis. Looks like it's time to start our matches. Any final words to each other?
많이 활약이 없었는데 이번 시즌에 좀 활약을 하는 것 같아요. 일단 이번 시즌은 여기까지.
Well, Paralyze didn't really show off his performance, but I'm happy that he's going to try to pull out his best games here today. But that's it. This is going to be the end here for him. But I hope best of luck in the next season, buddy. I don't really have much to say to my opponent. Well, Classic doesn't really show great performance in Pro League. But he's generally good at the team house. So just stick to being good in the team house and not in a tournament like the GSL. Ooh, the salt, the sodium,
I don't know if that's technically salt that we're listening to.
All right, well that does it for our interview. And now we're going to go on to this match here. It is a best of 5 since we're in the round of 8.
I actually thought about it a bit more. I think Classic takes this 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
That's what I think. So there you have it. We'll see. We'll see. It's, who knows? It's a team kill, and these matches are different.
They are going to be. It's always weird when you watch two teammates face off against each other. Looking at these two here, I would say if you took all the players in the GSL Code S round of 32, these were not two of the most exciting players. I'd say even here in the round of 8, they're not on the exciting end of the players.
With that, yeah.
But you never want to count these Protosses out. We've had so many new good Protosses come up over the past 12 months.
In fact, yeah, that's very true.
I mean, it's a little bit of food for thought there because we've seen this happen a lot where we got some Protoss who's good. You remember Deer? Remember long ago I was joking, like way early on in the tournament, I'm like, what if Deer won this tournament? When we were off camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, just imagine that because he's good, but I mean, come on, he's not going to win.
Yeah, Paralyze is someone kind of like that.
Yeah.
Where the thing is, though, as Deer got deeper, like, oh my god, he's playing so godly. Whereas,
well,
these guys are playing well. They're both playing very well, but like nothing super groundbreaking. Sometimes we see like kind of groundbreaking games out of Classic, but that's more in Pro League, I guess. Whereas Paralyze is coming into the season, he was the player I was least excited about in Code S out of everybody. I'm like, no, just another Protoss is what this guy feels like. But I don't know, maybe he'll prove us wrong here today.
We will have to see. I mean, you got these two guys, both, I would say it's going to be ambiguous about who's better than who. Even when they were talking about each other previously, it seemed almost like just slightly below the top tier of their own team players.
Yeah.
That are in a tournament. They're both very qualified, but it's really hard to measure these guys based off the way they've both been playing. They both look good, but I think it could be anybody's game. I'm leaning towards Paralyze. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll go with Classic here.
Okay. We're going to have the map lineup be Overgrowth, Waystation, Ultrazine Stronghold, Habitation Station, and Frost.
Well, it is PvP, so you know, some of these maps definitely will play differently, but you know, not all of them. For instance, Overgrowth, Habitation, and Frost will all probably play somewhat normal.
Yeah.
But Waystation, if you get those cross spawns, the really far ones, that can be crazy. And Ultrazine, of course, you can see anything from Nexus First to 4-gate there.
Yeah.
That's like anything at all.
A map that big, it definitely a big variety of stuff you can actually do. It looks like we are about to start this game. These two players, so sick. Not the favorites to win the whole tournament. I would say whoever gets through here is going to be the dark horse in the round of 4.
Definitely. Maru and Sulky are both players that would be scary for these guys to go up again. But, you know, if Sulky beats Maru, that's another team kill in that round. And, you know, that guarantees an SK guy in the finals then.
Absolutely. Definitely good news for SK. Again, this is not a scenario where the loser picks the maps. These guys have had a lot of time to prepare on each map. There's no curveballs you can throw in there. Let's say you win the first one, and even if you lose on a map of your opponent's choice, you got some crazy cheese on a weird map. Not the case here, and again, to make it even weirder, they're teammates.
Yeah, very true. Well, we'll see this be starting in just a moment here.
Okay.
The map is loading. Overgrowth.
Overgrowth, great map. One of our newer maps that we've had here.
I like it. It's a good map.
I'm surprised that there are as many funky cheeses that you could do on this map. Considering when it first came out, I thought this is the most generic-looking map we could possibly have, along with some gold bases. But it's turned into a map that makes for some great games. Anyways, guys, tell your friends to tune in. We're here at day 1 of the round of 8. 2 players, Classic and Paralyzed. By the end of this best of 5, only one will move on to the round of 4.
Hot 6 GSL Season 2, Round 8, Classic versus Paralyze.
In the... I started it.
You're getting a little bit too overexcited here, Tasteless.
I actually just did the Tasteless pull string doll technique. So we got... we have our 2 players here. It's a 2-player map.
Oh, Tasteless. Oh, Tasteless.
I'm so, you know, when you do starting the round at 32, I don't know how many games it comes out to that I end up calling the guy like upper left in the blue, like this and this, or
our first Protoss, 1 of 2.
Yes.
One of our glass players and one of our gum chewers and all that.
One of our glasses players are Toasties.
Yeah. Well, a player made out of glass could be. Someone very fragile when he gets cheesed. I don't know what type of intro scene this is, but okay. I guess we aren't going to zoom in on players. That's fine. So that means in the top right, which one is this one? Okay, it's Paralyze.
Yes. When we started out, I was like, okay, I was going to say, well, over here in the upper right, we got, and I'm like, wait a minute, I actually don't even know for sure. So, guys, we just change the format a little bit here when we get to the round of 8 to try to mix it up. Okay, so we got Paralyze over here, upper right, Classic, bottom left. Nobody's scouting yet.
Who needs scouting?
In this case, they're just going to go for some very well-rounded, safe builds.
Yeah, a lot
probably
of
something that will be somewhat cheese-proof.
Mostly, yeah.
You know,
We've seen them scout around in the natural and stuff to make sure that the cheeses that could kill them aren't there. So that's good.
You got to think with meta stuff like that, that's when you make the gates just right outside. Like,
yeah.
You know?
You got to be careful. If the gates get too far away, the Zealots are going to get in there. There's going to be a Mothership core.
But if they just check, like just inside their main or something, you knew the guy was going to do it, that would be a really good meta cheese, especially for something like this and a teammate versus teammate where you're like, well, actually, if you want to have the secret, you want to have basically like that handbook that guy got in the second Back to the Future movie, you know.
Oh, wow, yeah.
To win.
The almanac, the sports almanac.
All right.
Tanner. with the Sports Almanac.
Remember that scene where he throws that kid's ball over the roof?
Yeah.
It's like
I love
so
it.
hilarious.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Okay. So they've scouted each other out now. A little bit of ambiguity here from the openers on both sides as far as what they want to do. It's smart if you're against somebody who knows your playstyle so well is to make it absolutely bulletproof. They can't know what's going on. And we have mirrored builds right now, Tosis.
Completely mirrored.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see. Do these guys both go Oracles? Do they both go Phoenixes? Or is it going to be 1-1? Because if you open Phoenixes against Oracles, obviously that is a nice advantage that you open up with.
Well, that probe will be leaving here shortly. And now that he's gotten all the intel.
You know, he sees the Stargate, so
that's a lot.
It's a pretty big deal. That means that he will. Right, that was Paralyze's probe in there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was Paralyze's probe.
So he's going to make a Phoenix first. So,
all right. So keep in mind, Paralyze has the intel. His opponent does not, and that was a smart move right there. Put the pylon down there to make sure he doesn't cancel. I love that.
And he does go with the Oracle and a Nexus. Now, by opening up an Oracle and a Nexus right now, if Paralyze plays this just right, he's going to have a nice lead because he will stop the Oracle harassment, and he won't. Basically, Classic won't be able to mine out of that natural for a long time because the Phoenixes are going to keep up harassment, and he can't actually, especially now that he's adding a Robo, stay on Stargate Tech. You can't stay on it because you're way behind once you make that Oracle against the Phoenix Maker.
Yeah. So that Oracle's coming out now. I can imagine the one tear that comes down Classic's face as that probe scouts him. And he's like, oh, like we're off to a very bad start here.
Indeed. He does have his Phoenixes in the wrong place right now.
Well, actually, maybe not.
They're close enough.
Oracle's banking over here to the right. And this was not a bad way to bring the Oracle in here. Probably the least expected way to send him in here. And so now he gets that Oracle easy peasy. And that is bad news. Yeah, that's bad news for Classic. I mean, the Oracle did not even pay for itself.
Yeah.
And so he's making 2 more gates and a Twilight Council here.
These Phoenixes are going to really delay him mining from his natural.
Yeah.
And probably force, a Nexus Cannon out. He's got to make a bunch of Stalkers here. And this just puts Paralyze in a great
Paralyze
spot.
has already preempted what his opponent's going to do. He knows, okay, from here, since he's my teammate, I know this all so well. All I have to do is go into my Robotech because it looks like he's probably just going to go for Stalkers with Blink, which is it's a logical move, right? If you see that your opponent's making Phoenixes, of course you make Stalkers. So Paralyze just guns straight for the counter tech to that, which is going to be the Immortals.
Yeah, it's a really smart move. Even grabbing that Forge, realizing that as long as he keeps his Phoenixes alive and makes Immortals, he can't really die to anything that Classic can do. So you definitely do have to give, at this point, Paralyze a nice little lead in this game. It's like basically 2 failed tech routes right in a row for Classic into finally a tech route that'll work out for now.
Frankly, I can't see from here how Paralyze would end up losing this game. I mean, it'd have to be a pretty bad throw.
Yeah.
From there, I mean, Paralyze should, by all measures, just be able to close this out. I mean, he's got the right lead.
There's definitely some ways that he can try to come back. Maybe like a little bit of blink harassment here and there as soon as he can, and maybe he can hit the right tech route on the way. But
what did he just kill there?
I think it was just a probe that was going to make a pylon. But yeah, it's looking just ridiculously fantastic right now for Paralyze. The fact that he's continuing to kill probes, he's forced 2 Nexus Cannons so far. He's forced him into this Blink Stalker tech, and notice he's not overmaking Stalkers. He's sitting on 5 because he wants to have enough that these Phoenixes can't do anything to him, but at the same time, if he overmakes them, he knows his opponent's going to be just chronoing out as many Immortals as possible. Those are going to be units that really don't do that well.
All right, so the Phoenixes are coming up now. They're just gliding by the edges of the base, keeping Classic all the more busy back at home. Here's the Gateway Explosion back here for Paralyze. Paralyze just in a really nice lead. Even going to be ahead in the +1 attack, getting the Zealots with the legs. So from here, they're going to be on 2 bases for a while. Nobody wants to take a 3rd base. Long ago in PvP, there would be a period where someone would try to sneak out a 3rd base. It's pretty much deemed like not worth doing. You really build up for a long time in PvP on 2 bases, and then you expand like almost after like the second gateway explosion, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take it like just really, really late.
It makes it a lot safer. If you expand before that second, as you call it, gateway explosion, then you're not going to be able to like units quite as quickly. And
speaking of which, we actually have that second gateway explosion happening now here for Paralyze.
They both
need
to be adding that.
That's why he's now looking to expand.
That's called safety right there.
Yep.
And he's going to have charge as well. He already has that +1 attack. He has more Immortals popping out. Whereas poor Classic's sitting here with, how many Blink Stalkers was it? It was like 11 Blink Stalkers. He's got 11 Blink Stalkers and 2 Sentries. That is not an army that you want right now when you've been able to do 0 with it. Maybe the Blink Stalkers can still get something done, but their utility is just decreasing over time, Tasteless.
Okay, so there goes the Nexus, just slightly behind Classic there.
Now, I'm no dairy farmer, but would it be correct to say that these Blink Stalkers are aging like milk? And yes, sometimes you can turn aged milk into cheese, but
or yogurt
it's
or something.
pretty difficult to do.
I would dare say that.
I don't know what type of dairy farmer Classic is. I guess we'll see.
We're gonna have to see, man. Right now, I would say that this is gonna be some bad milk, man.
Could be. Might get a tummy ache if you try to use these Blink Stalkers.
Yeah. This is, I'm trying to think of a good milk joke, and I can't. I'm like trying to think of like what is it, like whole milk or something? It's like the worst for you, technically.
Well, these Immortals right now are like from a milk commercial. They're like gut stalkers, and they have stalker blood smeared over their top lip.
I'm trying to imagine Immortal's lip, by the way. Like, where exactly is the mouth on the Immortal?
Well, considering it's fused with a DT soul and Protoss in general don't have mouths, it's hard to say.
Well, this Immortal does talk, so the mouth is actually just a little speaker on it. Okay, so Paralyze is now going to look into what area of attack he can have. And with the Archons here, it makes force fields not useful at all.
Oh, man.
They just squash the force fields.
He's got +2 as well, Tasteless.
Yeah.
So, kind of a hard area to attack into, to be frank.
That is very true. I believe there's more of the army for oh, hold on. There comes the attack now. The Archons are actually going to work right now on these Zealots on both ends of this. We do have the Phoenixes picking up some more. Now, it's really the Immortals in the back that are going to be dishing out the majority of the damage. As the Zealots are all disappearing, the Immortals can take out these Stalkers no problemo.
Yeah, these Immortals just slamming absolutely everything right now. The Stalkers not being very useful. Those Phoenixes doing a good job lifting up a bunch of units and just taking them out of the fight.
Okay, so this is the beginning of the end here. This expansion is going to be taken out. By the way, Paralyze did not even actually transfer. Oh, no, he just transferred, excuse me, to that expansion over there at the north. But this is going to be it. Paralyze is going to walk through here. This GG, this whole story goes back to that first probe finding that Stargate.
Yeah.
It was a game where once he saw that, okay, he's like, okay, he's going for Stargate. He puts a pylon there to make sure it's not canceled. And then the Oracle comes up. He guns it down with the Phoenixes, also parking the Phoenixes in his base so that the Oracle would, presumably it would be safe to send the Oracle in there. Classic, frustrated, probably over that part we're talking about at the very start. From there, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, Paralyze did all the proper moves.
Yeah.
Got his expansion up a little bit quicker, got that +1 attack upgrade, had the Archons, had the Zealots, but most importantly, had the Immortals in the back of his army, and was able to push through there.
Exactly. It is a pretty straightforward game in that regard. So we'll see if Classic can do a bit better, get a bit better intel this time. If you mirror tech against each other, and one player whenever you do the tech, basically when you do a tech and it mirrors the other tech, there's a certain way you play that tech out that's optimal, and Paralyze was able to do it while Classic was not.
Pretty bad beat by Classic there. Let's see how he does here in game number 2 on the map Waystation.
Yeah, it's.
I have to say though, for the sake of tempo and morale on Classic's part, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
that's definitely
a rough one.
It's not how you want to start out a best of 5. Okay, so game number 2 here is underway. Classic against Paralyze. See what happens.
Top 6 GSL